talk about Oprah should run in 2020. People say, oh, well, she said that all white people, and then of course they'll leave out the old in the whole conversation. Say she said white people should die. It's like that's not what she said. She, you know what old white people she talking about? She ain't talking about the white people who was there in the civil rights. She ain't talking about those people. She talking about the ones that got the kerosene and the 2 wood sticks ready for you. She talking about those people, right? Folks. Those people who have no problems talking about like I said, I want to sit at the front row of a lynching or a hanging. Like, well, out of all the things you can sit on the front row of, you are hanging. That's the first thing that comes to your mind.
Right. Can I ask you this? Do you realistically think that Oprah will run in 2020? And if she did, wait. And if she did, would she realistically be elected as a candidate? Be taken seriously as a candidate?
She might. I mean, I don't know. She might. Well, she might be taken seriously.
I was hoping that you would say, well, look at Donald Trump. I mean, he's...
Well, and in the interview, she did say that. She says, well, and I think that's kind of how the whole thing of her running kind of grew legs, because she says, well, damn, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously, he did it. Why not? Exactly. But as you guys probably remember, too, in the old interview, Donald Trump sat on Oprah's couch and said that if I wanted to be president, I could. He said
he did that. He sure did.
So, and then at the time, though, he said he would run as a Democrat. Right. And so...
No, he said Republican.
Oh, yeah, he did. He said it right, because they call him stupid or something.
Very stupid, yeah.
But he was a Democrat at the time.
Oh, he's always been a Democrat. He's still a Democrat to this very day.
No shade to anybody who's a Republican. But what I say about Republicans is that this man can say this on camera, on tape, video, whatever you want to call it, and say they're so stupid, I can run and I will get elected. And here he is.
Surprise!
Right. And so, as I said, I only see Tay's comment. I'm sure some more coming in. If you guys want to talk about anything. And again, I'll just go ahead and talk about the shutdown just for a little bit until I see some more comments, because somebody wanted me to address it. But as we know...
Wait. Before you do that.
Sure. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to read this. And Al says, in 2019, I want to see more black women humble. I want to see more black women humble themselves. Some think they are the stuff. Ooh, my ex once told me that her cookies are, I can already tell you, her cookies are magical. I said, that's why all your baby daddies disappeared. Wow. You know what? Silly. And Marcus says, I think we need to start taking a hard look at Cory Booker. Yes, Marcus wants to talk about Cory Booker. Hold your horses. We need to take a hard look at Cory Booker for president, period. What do you guys think about that? Cory Booker being president or running for president. He says if he is worthy, then we need to get an early start in supporting him and campaigning. What do you guys think about Cory Booker? And I'm going to read this really quick, ending off the Bird Box conversation. This was from Al Jackson. Now, he says, I actually enjoy watching the apocalyptic and ominous movie Bird Box. Here is a film that actually makes you think. Quite honestly, most black people won't like it because it's unlike the abysmal and fortuitous BS our people are accustomed to enjoying, like Girls Trip, Night School, or Medea. I will take the liberty to divulge some of the info that will help. My prophetic revelation and synopsis is this. Mallory and her 2 kids have to travel blindfold so they wouldn't perish. The family faced adversity as they proceeded to their destination. The enemy began speaking to them in a familiar voice, trying to convince them to remove the blindfold, which would have caused them to die. Birds in the box represented the spirit/discernment. They became perturbed when the enemy appeared. Not just next year, but every year, it is imperative to know who you are and not listen to every voice. Ignore the toxic negativity, false accusation, lies, doubt, being misunderstood, jealousy, rejection, and people's opinions, stupid ideologies, and BS. Your mental and physical health, brands, businesses, and dreams dissipate because you listen and care what they think and say. I encourage you to say F them and just live your best life by stepping out of the Bird Box. Very nice.
Very good.
You like that?
I feel like by the time I got a thesaurus to read all that.
Deanna said you had too many big old words in that. But she said she understood them. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't understand all those words, Al. But you know what? Very beautiful.
Very good,
very insightful and a different take on the Bird Box. And Jonelle, he says, like why should they change? They have zero atonement in them. If they wasn't hollow, we would have reparations. Our conditions wouldn't be downtrodden, and the whole planet would be in true civil
meltdown
advanced state. These people only think to improve their Zionist Albert Pike, the founder of the KKK, global plan for a Jew world order. And you also say God makes all things new, and the former things shall pass away, even that chair. So Booker may want to book a new seat in his own house, vision, idea, and dream. So I'm taking it that Jonelle is saying he's going to pass on Cory Booker.
I'm going to pass this off.
Donovan, why are you going to pass on Cory Booker running for president?
Everybody got to understand that these people all have the same donors. Donald Trump even said that, hey, I give the both sides, whatever. Cory Booker was against the pharmaceuticals and that major vote that was going to bring down the drug prices and things like that. And when his pharmaceutical, who wrote the drug laws, whatever, he just went with that vote against a lot of the Democrats that he was supposed to be a Democrat to represent. So I don't think that he's the person to do it. I think he thinks he's the next Barack Obama. And
Kamala Harris does too.
Right. And again, here's a person who serves his donor versus doing what's right.
Hey, Rona.
In my opinion.
And she says Booker is a neoliberal. And Al says Cory Booker needs to put his no good ass back on the shelf. Damn. Admittedly, I don't. And Marcus, tell me why you think maybe, because you didn't say for sure, but why we should maybe get behind Cory Booker. I don't know a lot about Cory Booker, but I haven't really heard him say much anything different.
Right. Can anybody name me a legislation that Cory Booker has pushed through the legislation other than during some of the hearings that was going on? He was like, I'm going to release this information. Bet me. He's grandstanding. He didn't do anything.
And that's what I would say. I've seen him grandstand a lot. Right. So it's like I haven't really saw or heard him say anything that was like, oh, wow. Well, let me, pay attention to Cory Booker. I don't know. I just think he's part of the establishment as well. And Rona says, no Booker, no Kamala. Yeah, I definitely would not vote for Kamala. Kamala also thinks she is the next Barack Obama. I've heard people say that. And excuse me, y'all, I don't even think that's a good thing to be the next Barack Obama.
Right.
And then you also say Nina Turner, Tulsi Gabbard.
That's Nina Turner is woo, yes.
That's the one that Donovan's in love with.
But the sister is on fire. And I'm not a feminist. I don't believe in black women leadership. That's just me personally. Okay. But that woman there is the truth.
Yeah, she doesn't bite her tongue. Right. She doesn't bite her tongue. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know enough about Cory, but like I said, he hasn't gotten my attention per se for me to say, well, this is the guy.
And neither has Kamala. Like I said, what legislation have they put forth for their own people?
Well, I could kind of see it. And then, so Rona, I hope I'm saying it right, says Kamala is the next Clinton. I could see that. And also, you guys pay very close attention to it. I think it's Kamala, I think it's Cory, and then some other Republican senator, Ted somebody. Can't think of his name.
Ted Cruz?
No, not Ted Cruz. He's a black guy. All these are black senators.
The only black senator in the Congress is the guy, Tim Scott.
That's what I'm talking about. I said, what do I say, Ted?
Yeah, you said Ted.
Okay, so Tim Scott. They've gotten this legislation. I guess it passed.
Anti-lynching.
Yeah, make this anti-lynching law that they tried to get passed for over 200 years now, dating way back. They've always
signed
passed
on
the
it.
bill, but it never passed the House or Congress, if you will. And so I guess that got it to pass. And so what they're going to try to do is dangle that, and especially the black people. Oh, we got this anti-lynching law passed, and this is why you should vote for us.
Right. I was significant on this.
On the surface, lynching is murder, so ain't that already Capital One? Ain't that already a federal crime? It's like, let's pay attention here. Okay, and so Marcus says, honestly, he's the lesser of two evils, period. And I think if we were very vocal in what we expect, he will have time to agree or disagree with our needs and concerns. I don't know. I think he'll be like most of them. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll do it. And then when they get in there, it's like, I said that.
They basically put it like this. If he could make and he becomes a Democratic nominee against Trump, I would vote for him just because of that. But just like Obama previously, he would be put there for a specific purpose, and it ain't for black people.
Wall Street.
Exactly.
And then, and Rhonda says Sanders, and I hope I'm saying her last name, Debard.
I can't say. Nina.
Because I know her as Nina Turner, but I guess she has.
Oh, yeah, Debard, whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And so she's saying that's who should be on the ticket. Okay.
And she's a state senator from Ohio.
Okay, so. Right. And then Al says he's done a lot of hoorah and amen, brother noise, and that attracts black people to the polls for him. Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And we're going to get duped again, you know, and I'm not saying we were, let's just be real.
We were duped.
We were duped by Obama, okay? Anybody disagree? I know Obama's a great dude. I'm not saying he's not.
He was put there for a specific purpose.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Obama was great cosmetically. You know, he's a nice looking guy.
He kept the country from ripping itself apart.
Well, yeah, he's got the swagger. He makes a hell of a, you know, this, that, and the other. But let's be honest. Look what he did to Libya. I mean, how great of a person can he be? That he did those things to other people. I mean, so it's like, are we just going to ignore the whole picture or just look at the fact that we had the first black president? The first black president to do what exactly?
Right. Like a lot of people right now are really mad at Trump for pulling the troops out of Syria. Now, I'm a progressive, and we've been at war for 17 years in Afghanistan. Yeah, I'm for him pulling out the troops. Now, how he's doing it as a military man, you just don't arbitrarily pull the troops out.
Right, let's go.
Yeah, you got to do it and phase it and, you know, make sure your allies are on board and all this other stuff. Well, maybe that's his thing.
Well, I pull the troops out and then that'll kind of ease in the blow of the shutdown. Because let's be honest. I mean,
it's a distraction.
I hope I'm wrong, but the shutdown is going to last for a long time. Somebody's got to give.
Here's what's going to happen. Okay. January 3rd, the Democrats are going to come into office. Nancy Pelosi, who has the majority now, you guys got to believe this. When you control all three sides of government and you can't get your wall, it's never going to happen.
Right.
So now the Democrats are going to come in. Nancy Pelosi, they're going to pass a bill to open up the government. The Senate is going to pass a bill to open up the government because, like, again, he had the Senate. He had all these people. They can
sidestep them.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't.
Right. But the thing is, let's say they don't have enough votes, the 2/3 votes that they need to sidestep the president.
Yeah.
He's going to sit there, and for that small base that he has, he's going to, stop the government from opening up. I think they're going to override it, and it's going to be a done deal.
I hope you're right.
So.
Okay, and then so Ronnie says you meant put the Clinton Club putting money on her, on Kamala.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They pick our leaders.
Yeah, and he also say no more lesser evils. I agree with that because that's kind of how we got where we are. You know, the lesser two evils. You know. Yeah. And so Al says, if Donovan Sadiq is not running, I'm not voting for any black candidate.
No, I will not be running.
They're going to pick him off with the minute he put his name in, they're going to pick him off.
Gone.
And he also said, I was so duped, worked on both campaigns. Wow. So you campaigns for Clinton and Obama? And she says, I'm woke now. He says, Trump hates federal workers. This is just his plan. Wow.
Well, no, I don't think he hates federal workers. The thing is, the man's just basic stupid. He doesn't know how government works. That's
stupid
his problem.
And spoiled. Right. I want my way.
Exactly.
Gosh, it's like
he thinks because you're president, he's a dictator and doesn't work there. He doesn't understand how government works.
But look at all and this is just again what happens. And because we've all done it, but this is what happens when you vote against your better interests.
Exactly.
People voted for Trump. A lot of, let's keep it what it is. Say what it is. White supremacists voted for Trump, and a lot of them are government workers.
White trash,
stamps, all that other stuff. And so the food stamp program, if this thing is not over by February, that's going to be defunded.
Exactly.
So it's like we've seen documentaries and news clips and stuff of people, especially white people in Mississippi, saying that they get food stamps and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, you need these things.
Yeah, the Democrats are very smart to hold him accountable to having Mexico pay for that wall. They're very smart to do that.
Right.
And
Mexico's like,
well, the thing is,
if
this doesn't wake his base up, nothing will.
Well, I think it's going to really take for a lot of his base because there's always been this, shadowing threat. Mm-hmm. Oh, this could happen if. And so they've never really felt the real effects. But God forbid it's not funded by February and those food stamps don't roll in. That's when people are going to start to say, okay, something's got to be done here.
No, they're just going to blame it on Obama.
Yeah, right. He said they're going to blame it on Obama.
Yeah, it's Obama's fault.
Al says a lot of black people love Obama because he sung the Al Green.
Oh, yeah.
That terrible Amazing Grace song at those funerals.
Amazing Grace.
And Marcus says, my overall point is that we better dig our feet in for whoever we choose to support. And we better start having the conversation now in conversation like this. And I will concede your point because I get where Marcus is going. May not be Booker.
We need a consensus candidate. Absolutely.
Right. But we got to put our hat or whatever, our power or might, whatever you want to call it, behind one person. And that one person has really got to have our best interest at heart. Not that, I think about it.
Well, here's what everybody that's listening to your show has to understand. And they better realize the black vote is the vote that decides who becomes president and who doesn't become president.
Absolutely. But we don't understand that, And then Jonelle says, we don't even need to live in a society in 2019. You got to fly for anti-lynching. You got to fight for anti-lynching law. Shaking my head. This is the land of killers, liars, and thieves that have to do all those things to keep this land. To keep this land. Their God is their gun. Their military. Obama had no choice. He had to get down or else. And anybody who is black president will do the same, like Donovan said. But that is a done deal. Trump or the next white chump will continue the abyss. This nation get a lifeboat. Well, absolutely. I mean, I agree. I think
war is big business.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Obama did what he had to do, but it's like, that's fine, but that don't mean that we need to have our eyes closed to it.
Yeah. Every president or representative in government, you're supposed to throw your people a bone to keep them sad, even if it's crumbs. You give them something,
right?
So that the rich people could just rob us blind as they've been doing. And when Obama came in, everything was to support the rich, the Wall Street, this is that. When it came down to black people, brown people, whatever, we really didn't get in. We were the ones that had to. That's why the middle class disappeared. We were the ones that had to take the heavy burden.
Right. And then Rona says Bannon started him down this path. Yeah, and look what happened to Bannon.
Yeah, Don.
Yeah, right. And he mad. He's like, because to your point, Rona, they were actually calling Bannon the president. They said that's the real president. Trump is just the puppet because Bannon was calling the shots. And that's too when the white supremacist was really like rampant, because their leader, if you will, was in there calling the shots. I mean, still is, but the real leader, And then you say Sanders accepts no substitutes. Only problem, and me and Donovan talk about this a lot. Not even age, because Trump is old.
Well, he's not old as Sanders.
Right. Only problem I have with Sanders is that he should have just stayed a libertarian.
Well, he is.
Or he's independent. Rather.
He still is an independent.
When
there's 3 independents in Congress and in the Senate.
What I'm saying, but when he was running, he ran Democrat.
Well, that's because his party is too small. The system is set up for the only 2. But look at all
the people now who's talking about, I had to choose the lesser 2 evils.
Well, the thing is, they identify themselves as Democrats. There's only 2 major parties. They will not let a third party come in. So for him to caucus by law, they've set all this up.
Right.
He had to either caucus with the Republicans or caucus with the Democrat. Here's a good example.
So we let him down.
Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, they got into Congress as what? Tea Partiers.
Oh, they sure did.
Tea Partiers.
I forgot even about that. What happened to the Tea Party?
No. The Tea Party warped into the Freedom Caucus.
Got it.
You see what I'm saying?
Got it.
So now Marco Rubio is now considered a regular Republican.
Right, which is why I was like, what party?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's how the system is set up. No other party is going to come and say, okay, let's say he did say as an independent.
It's the lesser of 2 evils.
Right. But he had to caucus with one or the other. That's how the system's set up.
And then Mark should say, if the Democrats were smart in their opinion about Donald Trump's wall, they would easily tell him his base is among the wealthiest 1%. It will only take 2 or 3 of them. Now, mind you, they're probably at $20 million. Now, I know that's a far away.
At the GoFundMe. That's just GoFundMe.
It will only take 2 or 3 of them to give what he needs to build his wall and then some. Yeah, I mean, they're working on it.
No, that's because the people that he's talking about, they know the wall's bullshit.
Right, okay.
They're not going to throw their money away for that.
It sounds good, And then so Ronnie says, hope and change, great marketing. Yeah, that's that was
Obama's thing, exactly.
Hope and change.
And
then she also says independents can't win. So she agrees with you.
Right.
And then she says, yes, we need to take over the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm. Progressively,
take it over and take it over with the right intention.
The far left.
Yeah.
The far left of the...
right. Not just telling us what we want to hear and then don't deliver,
Mm-hmm.
because not it always makes the point. They're just two wings of a different bird. Now they are. The Democrat and the Republican Party.
Same.
They're showing us different things, but they're actually doing the same thing.
And every 20 years, those parties flip.
Right.
They flip.
And then Tay says, don't forget Stephen Miller is still in the White House pushing the White House national agenda. Yeah,
Yes.
What happened to him?
No, he's still there.
I mean, because you don't hear much about him. I don't know if they said,
Yeah, they want to keep having people low profile.
Yeah, before he was really.
Yeah.
And that other dude that has a weird last name.
He's still there. He's with the Department of whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's part of
Treasury.
the LGTB community. I can't think of his name. He has a weird last name.
Okay.
Jonelle says, we need self-production. Our own Exodus integration has been and will continue to be a pain to this white nation, and even death below and destruction to us as black nations within it are far from a true future or salvation. Absolutely. And then Rona says OAC.
OAC, Organization of African... I'm not sure how.
Break it on down.
Yeah, break it on down for us. But to
I'm
show
sure
you,
it's something we've heard of. We just is not ringing a bell to us. And Tay also say no. Miller has been on the Sunday shows. Okay.
I don't have sound TV, piece. So
saying what?
Well, Sarah Sanders is so. I mean, she's lying so much that they just stopped inviting her to come on things. They just said,
I haven't
we're done.
heard anything.
Yeah.
I'm out of the loop, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't even have television. And Marcus says, my point is, instead of just debating with him back and forth about the wall, tell him to pick up the phone and call a few of his friends in the National Rifle Association, get his wall. I agree with you.
Well, the problem with the National Rifle Association is that they've been infiltrated by the Russians.
Got it. So they got their own issues.
Yeah, there's a problem.
He's saying they got their own issues with the Russians.
So they don't want to.
Right. They got too much going on. They got enough on their plate right now. But no, I agree with you, Marcus. Yeah, I mean, since there's so many people who are vehement about the wall being built, ante up. Why take it off the backs of the people who don't want it or who don't care
but that's what
they've got other stuff to do?
But that's the whole thing. They're taking taxpayer dollars. Look at him going down to Mar-a-Lago and all these people taking trips, his family and
taking the taxpayers' money and then saying some of y'all ain't gonna get paid right now.
But they've made laws that no matter what, they get paid.
Right, exactly.
So
ain't gonna stop their money.
Right, but the people, and then some people have been made essential. You're going to work, and we're still not going to pay you.
Right,
you have to come to work.
Exactly. And then Rona says, keep getting real progressives.
Yes.
And he says, a question mark, new congressman from the Bronx.
Cortez or Ortez, that chick from the Bronx.
Oh, is that what you talking about, the lady?
Yeah, the lady from the Bronx. Now, notice that this one senator that got defeated.
They said the NRA is broke.
Yeah, that one senator that got defeated, Democratic senator.
Oh,
she's dogging.
McClaskell.
She's dogging out that chick.
About that.
It's like
go home and
but that goes to show you, she's using Republican points against her so-called Democratic.
Right. Sisterhood.
These people, it's all a game.
She's mad because she got it and she don't have it no more.
Right.
And then Jonelle says, exactly, this nation is in debt by blowing money on a wall that the Mexicans going to tunnel over.
Yeah, tunnel or jump over.
Climb over, knock down, etc. Get the money for the wall from their military. That's one missile. Or two, straight robbery and distraction. And exactly. And that's the question I asked somebody. I can't remember who it was. I said, well, how do you stop determination? Can a wall stop determination? Because if you're determined to get over here, you go get over here.
The majority of people that are here illegally have overstayed their legal visas, and they've flown into the airports.
Or, and hell, sometimes even driven over the border.
Right. Those of us here in California, we know the migrant workers come over, pick the fields, at least they used to, and they would go back over. And if you go down to San Ysidro, that's an open border. They could come over, shop, and go back home. Back home. I mean, come on.
Right. So, I agree. The wall is a sham.
It's a sham.
It sounded good when he was trying to get elected. I'm going to build a wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it.
Right. But,
that was red meat like a mug, y'all.
But think about what you can do with that money. By not spending it on a wall, you could.
Well, but the thing about they got money. These people making decisions.
Yeah.
They don't care that the little man is struggling. Yeah, in matter of fact, we're gonna make you struggle more because you ain't gonna get paid. And then I read this fool They accidentally tweeted out a letter, and then they tried to say it was from the Obama administration in 2013.
I always blame the black man.
Barter for your rent.
Right.
Go talk to your landlord and barter for your rent. And
that's for federal workers, yes. Yeah. That's for federal workers.
But still what?
Right.
Barter for my rent? Mm-hmm. Why don't you just
do chores?
Come up off the purse strings, Trump, so I can pay my rent on time.
Well, the funny thing is, again, that pay raise and all that stuff was already decided last year, and this guy just, like I said, he's going to blow it up.
But the fact that they're not even going to get paid what they were getting paid, you know. And then Al says, in 2019, I will be there. Trump wants to know, is Cookie Lips, whoever that is, one word,
his wife,
or should he spread them apart? Cookie, boy. And Rhonda says, Trump's making money on the wall and the detentions for immigrants. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Trump is, and then, of course, all their homies, like the Halliburton situation with Bush.
All the money.
You know, with my construction
billions of dollars.
And build things back up after we tore them up with bombs.
Dianne Feinstein, a Democrat.
She just says F. McCaskill.
Right, exactly. Dianne Feinstein, a Democrat. This woman got a contract for the high-speed rail in Northern California, went right to her husband.
And now they're just talking about
$3 billion. Right, $3 billion of our tax dollars, and they don't think that that's a conflict of interest?
And same thing with Maxine Waters. Her family got a bunch of money that they justified through campaign,
donations funding.
Her daughter got almost
$89,000 because she
almost $1 million
because I heard it was $890,000
for postage and crap like that.
Putting it out, right?
And then Marcus says, if not Cory Booker being who, period, and who would make a worthy black candidate for the office of even just a strong run that gets our voices in the conversations? Well, that's a good question because to be honest with you, people are going to start campaigning next year.
Yeah. Some of them are already doing it.
Yeah, they're already doing it.
They're going to Iowa now. Yeah.
I don't know, Marcus. I really don't know.
Here's what you got to know.
You know what?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
But why y'all BSing? We keep on. Trump going to be right back up in there another term.
Well, and that's what Marcus is trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, if we keep BSing, we better get behind somebody.
Right. But who? That is a good question.
But here's the thing. And I definitely agree with Marcus on that. If we do not get behind that consensus candidate, they're already in Iowa doing that. Our leaders have already been picked. Believe it or not.
It's going to have to be somebody who, I don't want to say not on the scene, but somebody who's not in. But who is that?
Right.
Because if you ask me, they're all in to some degree. Mm-hmm. And let's see. And Teddy says these people are launching their children over their existing border fences just to get here. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Throwing them over the fence.
Golly. Determination. How do you stop that?
Now, let me ask you this. Okay, if another country and their people are caravanning up to...
And Rhonda says, Rhona's leaving the house. Keep fighting the good fight. All right, thank you so much.
Rhona. If another country is caravanning their people here, why isn't our State Department talking to that country and asking them these human rights abuses that are going on in their country?
Yeah, we got human rights abuses here.
I know, but I'm just saying if it's becoming a problem for us, right? But if it's becoming a problem for us, shouldn't we be talking to that country? Bush doesn't. But
like Rhonda said, that's money.
Yeah,
it's all a sham. Mm-hmm. You know, they paying people $85 an hour to build a wall.
Mm-hmm. White.
Do you think your application gonna go through?
No, I'm overqualified.
I'm gonna fill out an application, y'all. I'm just saying. But my application ain't gonna go through. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We know who that is. Mm-hmm. $85 an hour. That's $85 an hour is more than some people make in 2 days somewhere. Right. You know.
Absolutely.
So you guys do the math. And Al says, Al Jack's joke of the day. My stepdad is so dumb. When he came to pick me up from LAX, he saw the sign and said airport left. So he turned around and went home. Said the airport left.
Yeah.
I got that one. And Jonelle says America is built off of robbing the poor and balling off the poor masses back.
Yeah.
And ignorance. El Chapo tunnel right out of the prison from his cell to the El Tunnel to home and back is a payment like, let's see. Oops. Yeah, it's a payment like those phony drug busts. Some drugs put right back in the hood. This nation has no further till they're all robbing and choking under so-called noble cause, Robin Hood in reverse.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, El Chapo was like, who gonna stop me?
Wait, and think about this. Remember that tunnel they had drilled almost to Marietta? This ain't like a tunnel and you're walking through and it takes hours. They had lights in that tunnel. They had a train track in the tunnel. I mean, they had refrigerators. I mean,
what y'all do know? There's a GoFundMe too to buy tunnels to dig under the wall.
Yeah, I mean, these aren't. I mean, and it went undetected.
Right.
So.
Right, and so Rona says, Nina Turner. And then, so she said, I mean, is she interested in running for president?
Well, the problem is her thing isn't profile because she was a state senator. It isn't high profile yet, but she is on CNN, so she is getting some
let's check her
traction.
Out,
And, and unfortunately, though, and Nina, I love Nina Turner.
Yes, we know.
But here's the problem with it. The Republicans, if she ran for president, and let's say she got nominated, or at least she wouldn't even make the nomination, even her Democratic opponents would use this, the angry black woman against her. They would use that against her.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that. And Jonelle says, take from the poor and give to the rich. Where is Trump going? He's the Jew man, saw what the feds told him, and crickets right. Yeah, I mean, but that's how it's always been. Take from the rich and give. I mean, take from the poor and give to the rich. And that's what they're doing now. Not only are we going to freeze your pay raise, you're not going to get paid, but we also want $5 billion to come from the taxpayers. Everybody from all walks of life pay taxes. I don't care how much it is. So we want y'all to pay for this wall, and we're not going to pay you.
Right. But see, here's what Trump forgot. And this is why his base is that's why he couldn't get the votes. Like I said, he had the Senate, he had the Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Supreme Court doesn't really count, but they're all Republican, right? When people realized he was asking the taxpayer to pay for the wall, he lost a lot of support. That's why he couldn't get it passed.
Right. And then not to mention, or forget rather, we're going to all be in a new tax bracket when we file our taxes next year. 2019, the tax brackets change. The amount that you can make and not be taxed or taxed as much has changed.
And your FICO score will change significantly.
So, stick it to us even more, why don't you?
But they know what we know here in California. We had a Democratic assembly and a Democratic governor sign a law that none of us voted for that increased our registration for our cars by...
a lot.
Yeah, like almost 20%. Yeah, by 20%.
Yeah,
Everybody's went up.
It was supposed to be going down, but it
our
was
gas went up, everything like that. And they know one thing that, we all talked about it. We were mad about it, right? Everybody was upset in California. But what did we know? We didn't even vote for it. We didn't get a chance to vote.
Right.
They passed it on their own. What you gonna do? Nothing.
Yeah, keep on paying more money for the gas.
Yeah, you're going to complain. You're going to hoo and ha.
Registration didn't get told. Right.
You're going to hoo and ha, but what are you going to do about it at the end of the day? Nothing.
Right. We need to do what France did. They said put on this yellow vest. Okay?
Exactly.
And the president was like, okay, we changed our minds.
Yes. Yes, but that isn't going to happen here.
We were trying to do to y'all. We changed our minds, y'all.
But that's not going to happen here. Because that's what they know is going to happen.
And Al says, ask D&D. Why is it that most black preachers are against gay people? Honestly, if it wasn't for the gay community, the black churches wouldn't have a choir director. This fool here. Well, I'm going to say this. I'm not a pastor, but I do know the Bible a little bit, and I don't think it's necessary. Well, some are against gay people, but I don't think that's the premise. I think if they're going off the teachings of the Bible, it says that homosexuality is wrong. That's the Bible. I'm just saying what the Bible says. Homosexuality is wrong. It's an abomination is what it calls it. And so that's why they do it. So some people say they're against them. And some people say, well, they're just preaching the Bible. You be the judge.
Right. Or some say, hate the sin, but love the person.
Right. But yeah, it's true. A lot of them are choir directors. They be directing the hell out of that choir, though, okay? I appreciate that. Because, you go to church and you hear...
You want to show.
You hear, grandma and them, sweet low. You appreciate when, the choir director's able to put a little bit of oomph into it.
Well, come to the Catholic Church. Kumbaya. A lot of harmony. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. It's harmony.
I thought you was going to say Kuninbaya. No. But, and Jonelle says beds in the tunnels, rest stops in the tunnel.
They got all that. They got a Starbucks.
A cart with wheels in the tunnel, laughing my ass off. Damn.
They got a Starbucks, Jack in a Box, everything you need down there.
Taco Man up in there.
Right. You want to think? Undetected.
Right. And Marcus says, I think the Russian investigation on over to the wall is really nothing more than a distraction to allow them to deny us an opportunity to be heard Well, they continuously take things away, period. Let's see. Take things away. We are easy fall into the trap of conversing about things that only concern white Republicans and white Democrats, period.
Exactly.
But we fail to notice that they are never conversing about anything that concerns us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we think they are, though. You know, when election time comes and, you know, they in there dancing and you doing the latest dances up in the church and, you know, playing the saxophone and all that other stuff. And I got hot sauce in my bag, y'all. That's Hillary Clinton. She really did say she had hot sauce in the bag. And those kind of things. And so we like to be entertained. Child, you see Hillary Clinton on the Breakfast Club talking about she got hot sauce in the bag. Girl, let me go and see. I got some hot sauce in my bag.
I got to vote for her because of that.
Right, you know. So we get distracted by that kind of stuff. And they're not really ever talking about directly helping black people. It's just, we only want to make you think that. And if all it takes is for us to play the saxophone and talk about hot sauce in the bag, because, you know, we'll turn that into memes and sound bites. Ooh, yeah, I'm with her. Then that's all they need to do. And Jonelle says they're going to skim that 2019 tax money major and saw people taking their Xmas gifts back because of the government shutdown.
You got that right. You got that right, brother. Shoo.
You never should have picked them up. I mean, I'm just saying, people ask me, well, how was your Christmas? Did you spend a lot of money? I didn't spend no money. Huh? No.
Not at all.
It was just like any ordinary day to me. You know?
Except that everybody was home.
Yeah, you know.
Wasn't a lot of traffic on Christmas Day.
But that's a shame. You got to take it back. Give me that Xbox.
Yeah, you got it.
We on a shutdown.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen.
Shut down, your Xbox is shut down.
But here's another thing. Here's another opportunity for us to reset as black people and say, what are our priorities?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. How much time do we have?
We got 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes. And so we're going into the new year. And I always say this, you guys, I'm not really big on New Year's resolution. Now, of course, when the new year comes, you're like, okay, let me reflect on my last year. Is there some things I could have done differently? Can I have gone left when I should have gone right? So you do those things. And so I think that is a perfect segue to close. And what can we as black people do differently or need to stop doing in order to go just a little bit further? Because that's what New Year's are supposed to bring. They're supposed to bring things new and change, right? So that's just something we need to do. I would say this for one. I'm going to get to the rest of you guys' comments. I would like to see personally, because this is one thing I'm doing. I'm going to cleanse myself of so much social media. Because I got a lot of things I really need to get accomplished now. I'm getting older and really, and I'm just being transparent with you guys. Social media sometimes takes me away from that. But while I'm on there, I would really love for us to stop posting so much garbage and stuff that has nothing to, that's not going to help us. I don't want to, like I say this a lot, y'all. I don't want to see no more kids twerking. I don't want to see no more women twerking. I don't want to see men dressed up as women. That is so, listen, I understand it's comedy.
That video you sent me yesterday, I was done.
Right.
I was done.
But it's like, I get it. It's comedy. But at some point in time, we got to move past the kiki and the ha-ha. I don't want to see no more men running around trying to play like women on my mom said, and you know, dresses and all right, Medea's going to die. Okay? Sound like he's killing her. I don't know if he's going to kill her. She's going away to a home or something. But Medea's going to be no more after his last movie. And so I think all those people who are the men who are doing the wig and the impersonations, I'm not saying about being homosexual. I'm saying impersonating women. That needs to go with Madea.
No, impersonating stereotypical women.
Yeah, all that, go with Madea. Wherever Medea's going with her. That's one thing I like to see. And Al says, I just saw on the news that Tina Turner slipped and fell down the stairs in her home. Her sister asked her, Annie Mae? I know where he's going with this. It's Annie, are you okay?
Annie, are you okay?
Can't stand you. And then Jonelle says, like Clinton said on the Breakfast Club, and it's working. She did say that.
Yes.
It's working. She all got the news. We ain't even going to ask her, is it red dot?
Right.
Well, what kind is it?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. No, it's Tabasco.
She just got some hot sauce. And Al says, how about a dollar and dime segment every week on your show? You and Donovan give us a financial tip.
Well, you know what? I was going to give you guys a financial tip. I'm glad you brought that up.
Sorry, I am
sitting at home this last week, and my phone kept going off because my dividends kept hitting. Usually your stock options, if you've invested in stocks, they start paying at the end of the year.
Right.
And I really started hitting some really good things.
You started making some money.
Yeah.
No, that's why he was at the casino?
Yeah, that's part of the reason too. It was extra, things coming in. And the stocks that hit really big for me this year were the defense industry stocks.
Got it.
So.
Yeah, well, as Donovan says, there's the stock market is kind of like tanking because of the shenanigans
you're going to take
from
a hit,
White House. But yeah, stocks and bonds and things like that are always good. We're always going to talk about life insurance here. If you don't have life insurance for you or your children or even your parents, because unfortunately a lot of times our parents go and we thought they were okay. They didn't have life insurance. And so now we're trying to figure out, because funerals aren't cheap, you guys.
They aren't.
Funerals aren't cheap. We're trying to figure out how to properly put mom and dad away. So make sure your mom and dad are covered. If your mom and dad can't afford it, get your siblings together and say, well, this is what it's going to cost. Now, we're not going to be left rich, but we don't want to be embarrassed. God forbid mom or dad goes and we're collecting from the rest of the family. Of course, the rest of the family going to be like, child, I would. But I thought that was your favorite auntie, though. Right. I ain't got it. And rightfully so. They're not, right, it's not their job to bury your mom.
But if my favorite auntie had 6 children, why did it even come to me?
Well, but I'm just saying. Because those 6 children probably don't have. Hell, the average cost of a funeral is now between $12,000 and $15,000, and that's not even the golden casket, y'all.
Right.
That's a regular, the Volkswagen casket. I ain't talking about the Cadillac casket. I'm talking about the Volkswagen.
And I know there's some of the people out there listening saying, "Oh, well, I don't have to worry about it. My dad was in the Army." Okay, let me tell you something. The military does not cover your casket.
Right, they have a place for you to go in the ceremony. They
have a ground and they give you a headstone.
Right,
that is about it.
And so we talk about, like I said, we talk about life insurance a lot, but make sure your kids are covered. I'm pointing to my kid because my kid is covered. God forbid something happens to me, she's not going to be having to go. Because listen, I love my family, but if they was up to them to bury me, I know I ain't gonna. My sister, I know my sister would, do everything she could to take care of me, but everybody else, and I don't care if they're watching or they're listening, everybody else in my family, she'd have to burn my ass up in the fireplace.
You can, you can get a insurance plan through a credit union for $10 coming out of your account a month. And some of you out smoke cigarettes, that's a pack of cigarettes.
But so the point that I'm making is, I made sure my child was covered, is covered, and I make sure that I am covered because God forbid something happens to either one of us. We are not going to have that problem of not having any money. So get life insurance on yourself, your kids, and your parents. Get them on your parents because a lot of times our parents are on fixed incomes. Yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit of money because they're older now. They probably have some health problems, but it's not going to cost you as much now than trying to lump together $12,000 to $15,000 on average to bury your parents. And that's for anybody.
Right. And if you're a young parent listening to this right now, start hipping your children to make sure you're covered as you age.
Right. And then your grandbabies. Right. If you got a lot of us, not me.
Not me.
Don't have grandparents, okay? Grandkids. We don't have grandkids. But for those of you who got grandkids, impress upon their parents to get life insurance. And if their parents say we can't afford it, it's $10 a month for a baby, probably, give or take. And the smaller they are, the younger they are, the cheaper it is. Get some on your grandkids until mom and dad are able to take care of them. But there should be no excuse. You should not have your children wearing $200 pair of shoes and you don't have a life insurance policy on them. There's no way these kids should be sitting up behind a video game that you didn't spend. I don't even know how much video games cost, but $60, whatever. Game. And you don't have a life insurance policy on your children. That is ass backwards and it is straight up stupid. I'm here to tell you.
The majority of Caucasian wealth comes from
life insurance. Yes, that's it's not only that I'm trying to bury my loved one, but I'm leaving a legacy. I'm leaving you more than I started with, okay?
Exactly.
And so Marcus says, I agree with how simple we are perceived to be, period, because I truly think Obama thought by inviting black celebrities to the White House and singing a bit of Al Green and Amazing Grace was enough. Let's see. Was enough to give him a pass on telling us to kiss his ass. Yeah, I mean, we sang a mean Al Green. Didn't how much time we got, Donovan?
We got 20 seconds on this show, but you can keep on that show.
You guys on the podcast, thank you so much. The podcast being Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Thank you so much. We will see you guys next week, and do have a happy new year. And then we also say, but even those are things that we allow, those are traps that we fall into. Yeah, we like the entertainment. We like the shiny, sparkly stuff. And not even realize it's not even gold, you know?
Exactly.
And he also say, honestly, we are at rock bottom. When you see a viral video of black men in a room, oh my God, giving head training to fruit